Welcome back to ADNAC Accent Coaching. My name's Allison, or as I would like to be called from now on, Alison. It's so elegant. I use Alice for short, which is kind of weird because the name Allison isn't usually shortened to Alice. Alice is its own name. But if you take the S-O-N or the L-N at the end of my name off and just do A-L-Y-S, it's Alice. So anyways, I'll talk to you today about the British accent. I have some observations that kind of sit above lexical sets. So first I'll explain what lexical sets are, and you can look them up if you want to study the British accent. So lexical sets take groups of words and categorize them by like sounds. So we're talking if you had the trap vowel. So now we're looking at trap, crap, strap, cat, act, those kinds of that vowel. You could have the fleece vowel in British English, so that you have like peas, fleece, read, that kind of thing. So lexical sets are usually about vowel sounds. And in English, the vowel sounds are kind of what make the dialects different. So just talking about my accent, Canadian English or Pacific Northwest English, going to the British accent, we're going to have a few changes where some patterns in my accent will just shift straight away to patterns in the British accent that I could just map on one-to-one. Like all my low back unrounded vowels will become rounded. My low front vowels might become further back. And some of my other vowels will become more centralized, or the mouth will be more closed. So when we're talking about vowels, we're talking about the front versus back of the mouth. We're talking about the close versus low. So close as in closed, and then low as in the jaw is open. And we talk about like tongue position or tongue height. So if we're vibrating resonance on the back of the tongue, we call it a back vowel, like ah. There's like vibration here, at the back of my tongue. And then is a front vowel because the resonance and the vibration, you can see is happening on my tongue at the front of the mouth. So it's a kind of complicated, the vowel chart to understand, but it's actually kind of a diagram of the speech anatomy. If we're talking about front vowels as in E, back vowels in oo, low front as in low back as in ah, that is how the vowel chart goes. So you can use it like that. So aside from the vowel chart, aside from lexical sets, what can you do to work on your British accent if you are North American? We're going to do some pauses in our consonant clusters. So where I would normally say natural, fixed, watches, a British accent might say natural, fixed, watches. It's just ever so slight hesitation on completing those consonant clusters. Fixed. I think a really good example of this is Daisy from Downton Abbey. She's always doing this like really drawn out, oh, it weren't fixed, were it? Like that kind of thing. Fixed. Oh, it's not natural. Natural. So that hesitation I call, or consonant pause, I call. There might actually be a name for this in linguistics that I'm not aware of. And the thing we're going to do with R's, so as you know, or as you maybe don't know, British English, most of the time, the accents we're going to be talking about are non-rhotic, which means the vowel R sounds actually don't use the R sound and just make the vowel a little bit longer and wavier to hint at the R sound. So the word care in my accent would become care. So I'm not just saying care, I'm going care. And that intonation movement, that wave, is hinting towards the R. This will be in singular words. You might find for longer words like the word knackered, for instance. At the end, I'm saying knackered. You'll hear like knackered. So I'm not going to say like knackered, right? If it was just chord, it would be like chord. But if it was record, it would be like record. So in two syllable instances, these wavy vowels will get shortened, and record might be record, and knackered might be knackered. Knackered. Like postered might be posted. So it sounds a lot like the word posted because we're just killing the R sound and we're not leaving a wave for that because it's two syllables. So the other thing we do with R's in the British English accent is we push the R to the next syllable if we have a non-rhotic vowel. So care, changing to carry, becomes carry. I don't care. I don't care about it. So Ca on its own, we're doing a little wave for the R sound, ca. But then for care about, So I'm pushing that R to the next syllable and I don't need to make the wave anymore. For carry, carry. So I say carry. My vowel is fully baked in with that R. There's no separating them. It's like a cake, it's baked. But for carry in British English, ca, no R sound, re, leading into the next syllable. So the non-rhotic thing is about landing on vowel R sounds, and the R's that we do still say are the onset R's, which lead into syllables. So the R's before vowels are maintained in British English, and the vowels after are the R's before vowels are maintained. The R's after vowels are removed, and sometimes there's a wave put in there to kind of hint towards that missing R sound. So I want to give you some examples for this. The word for, British English, for. But if I want to say for it, it would be for it. I don't care for it. Or for us, right? For us, my accent. For us, British accent. I don't care for us. For us. For us. And not for us. I don't care for us. I don't care for us. Do you hear that R pushing to the next syllable? Hopefully this makes sense. We have intrusive R in British English. So this is where an R comes to be like a break between two vowel sounds, even when there's no actual R in the spelling. So Linda and I, in my accent, I would use a glottal stop. Linda and, Linda and, Linda and I, British accent. Linda-rand, Linda and I, Linda-rand, no glottal stop there. We're not using the glottal stop for pauses in British English because it's kind of a T sometimes. So, so Linda-rand or ai.DI.ə.rand. I don't have any idea, Rand. I don't care. So you can see that the R's are there in British English after vowels, as long as there's another vowel coming after that the R can lead into. Even if there's no R there, we'll put an R in there to create a pause. Linda and ai.DI.ə.rand. For.rus. Linda, Linda-rand. Does this make sense? And one more thing I want to call your attention to. So we've looked at consonant hesitation in clusters. We've looked at rhotic and non-rhotic vowels and pushing the R to the next syllable. And now we're going to talk about light L and dark L in North American English, which are basically like long L and WL in British English. These are my own words, by the way. I'm not using like a source to talk about some of these sounds. So there could be legitimate names for these in linguistics that I'm just not aware of. But I feel like it's less important to use like specific linguistics terms and more important to express the ideas in a way that's understandable. So light L and dark L in Canadian English, North American English, we have this push off at the beginnings of words. Light, love, leaf, lee, like that. It's very brief. The L touches above the teeth and just pushes off like that. In British English, you might notice, and I've posted a video about this before, a little bit of lingering on that L sound. So London, light, love, leave, leaf, love. So it's just a bit longer, right? Light, love, leave, life. Light, love, lead, life. And I am doing some of the vowels a little bit further back. So just keep that in mind that my vowels might be starting a little bit further back there. So light versus light, love versus love. So the mouth could be a little bit more back and a bit more open for those vowel sounds after L. We have dark L turning into like a W sound. So little could either be like an L release like that, a lateral release, or you could have like little. I wanted to see a little bit, little. Coal. So for call, in my accent, cool. I'm not touching the tongue to above my teeth. I'm leaving the tongue on the floor of my mouth for that. So light L becomes long L basically, and dark L becomes like a WL, or it could be a lateral release. For 2-syllable words, you might hear a lateral release like this: battle, beetle, rattle, petal, metal. So this lateral release, we never use this in North American English. I'm kind of creating a seal with my L, my tongue in the middle, and I have airflow on the sides of my tongue. So you can really hear this when you're seeing like someone, like a British journalist talking about the Beatles. I was listening to the Beatles, grew up listening to the Beatles. Or you could hear someone talking about a war. Oh, there were battles. They battled to the end. So I'd like you to practice these. And if you have any questions, you can let me know. I think I covered it all. So consonant pauses and hesitation, natural, fixed, watches. We have R pushing through to the next syllable on those non-rhotic vowels. Ca, carry, for.us, for.rit. We have intrusive R that is kind of taking the place of our glottal stop between vowels, where I would say Linda and I in my accent becomes Linda and I.DI.ə.rand. So the R, again, we call it intrusive R there. For light L and dark L, we're going to a longer L on the onset, and we're going to like a W kind of flavored L on the coda, unless it's a lateral release from a T to an L or a D to an L, like metal, battle, little. Okay, I think that covers it. I consider myself kind of a beginner with the British accent, but you should know that vocal, dialogue, and speech coaches, accent coaches that work in the movie business, ACTRA, union accent coaches are the highest paid people on set, aside from the famous principal actors. So even if there's actors that aren't famous, the speech coach is paid more. The speech coach on set, and these people can only take union work, by the way, so they would never be able to do my job, which is just working with regular ESL speakers. Those people make $141 an hour. So think of the amount of education, expertise, and experience those people have to command that level of wage on set. And then you have me, and I'm working with people, teaching them for less than half that amount for the British accent. So I guess keep that in mind. It's variable. You could work with a bunch of different coaches. Who knows if they have education in linguistics? Who knows if they have education in speech sciences or vocal health or anything like that? So people should be able to be aware of their limits and communicate that honestly. That's part of this work that we do. And I'm not even like a registered health professional or a regulated professional the way that like speech pathologists are. But any member of VASTA, the Voice and Speech Trainers Association that I belong to, any member of VASTA has to uphold those values. And you can look up the values of VASTA if you want. It's a list, but basically it's like we have to be honest, we have to be truthful, we have to work in good faith. Like we have to share what our scope is and what's outside of our scope. So keep that in mind when you're going to be working with a speech professional. You should try and find someone that's either a registered health professional, like a speech language pathologist, or someone who's a voice or speech trainer and someone who is registered in an association like that, because that the level of education and knowledge required for those is like, there's like a threshold for that. So you'll be sure that you're working with someone who at least has the right education. Okay, thanks for tuning in and listening to me rambling on about the British accent. Thank you, and we'll see you next time.